Hello, people. I trust you're good this morning. So, I have a story to tell. All right. My life hasn't exactly gone according to how I had envisaged that it would. I had thought that I'd be married by 25, have 4 children, 4 because my mother had 4. I know, right? And life will be peachy. Right? I didn't get married till I was 34, I think it was. I have no children. But hey, what'd you do? You get up and you roll with the punches, Abby. So what brought on this? I woke up, was it on Friday night, right? And I'd run out of electricity units. Now, where I am, the landlady had changed the meter. And the IKEDC had promised that they would come and do what they needed to do. Anyway, they changed the meter. I got home, the meter wasn't working, had to get an electrician, yada, yada, yada. Called customer care quite a few times and still ran out of credits, right? Because I'd also tried to recharge through my bank app and I didn't get the units. Anyway, after calling customer care maybe like 5 or 6 times yesterday, at some point I got really upset and I dropped the phone on the customer care person. Sorry for that bad behavior, but it was better than shouting and screaming at them. I now spoke with somebody who I know works in IKEDC, and for about 2 hours back and forth, I beg your pardon, we eventually found out what was wrong with why I couldn't recharge, even after finally being able to buy the units. So the breakout on the brand new meter is faulty. So we tried to switch it on and the thing sparked and went off again. And in my head, I'm thinking, So yesterday, for the first time in I don't know how many years, as in I cried hot tears. I was like, what is this now? And also for the first time since I've been staying where I am, there has been light. And guess what? I do not have light because I cannot recharge my meter. Anywho, so this morning as I went walking, I was thinking to myself, Chai, yeah, you didn't plan your life well, though. I mean, I'm 53. I should be, in my head, right, living in some sort of comfort at this age. Who's the principal actor or factor? Me, right? And I'm not edging God out. So I grew up knowing about investments, stocks, because my mom always used to buy that, and planning for tomorrow, so to speak, saving, investing in stocks. And I did all that. I still do all that, actually. Now there's a larger chunk of whatever I earn that goes into investment funds, as in money market funds. I haven't bought stocks in a while. Well, maybe 1 or 2, right? But what I'm saying is I should be able to, so for instance, I haven't had light all weekend. I should have been able to go to a hotel, right, and spend the next couple of days knowing that I will not have light till Monday. But I can't afford to do that. And nowadays, in the last couple of years, I've been thinking, okay, so I want to go and eat out. And then I weigh the amount and I'm thinking to myself, what foodstuffs can I buy in the house? What bills can I pay? What can I invest in? So whenever I used to say to my husband in the early days of our marriage that I was saving for a rainy day, he would tell me to look out the window, it's pouring. There's the temptation to go into those investments and sort out what I need to sort out now. But will I suffer for it maybe tomorrow? Probably. And a few times I've gone into the investments and I've paid for stuff that I need to pay for. Where I was staying before, the landlord increased the rent last year by $500,000, and then this year increased it by $1 million. I was talking to somebody else and that person said to me that their landlord increased their rent by $2 million. Kini bobo story timosoi is if you're 18 or 16 or 15 like me and you went into university and your parents were still catering for you, right? Sacrifice a percentage of your pocket money and look for an investment fund. I mean, there are quite a few banks who have money market funds that you can invest in, and it takes as little as 5,000 naira. So if you start with 5,000 naira a month, right, maybe sacrifice that. Let me speak to the ladies, because guys sometimes don't really spend as much money, right? Depends on whether they drink or not. So sacrifice that night out, right? What you would spend in that night out, sacrifice it and invest it. All right. If you have a group of friends and you're like-minded, maybe look to invest in property. So if I had been strategic, right, I would have bought property in my 30s. Did the opportunities arise for me to buy property in my 30s? Plenty of times. Did I think about it? No. I did things like I would tithe, I would give to people that I know that needed, which is not a bad thing, right? And if you still do that, that's fine. I still do that. I no longer give money, right, to people. And that's something that I don't know how I arrived at that. I think it's also because I always thought that I didn't have enough to give. But I will tithe. It doesn't matter how small the income is. I will tithe and I will do those investments. I also learned along the way, thanks to my grandfathers on both sides, that whenever money comes in from their estates, I just invest it. Unless I'm flat out broke, I invest those funds. What I used to do with these invested funds up to 20, I think it was 19, was at the end of the year, I would travel, right? So I'll just take out all the funds and I'll go on a holiday. And I'd say to myself that I deserved it. After all, I've worked out hard the whole year. And yes, I did deserve it. Work hasn't been, so I've pivoted from tailoring, which I did for about 24 years. I started earning money from tailoring in the year 2000. So I fully pivoted the middle of last year into acting, comparing events, and voiceovers. Has the work been coming in as I anticipated? No. Have I tried all avenues open to me? I've harassed event planners. I've sent DMs to people just on the whim. I've done broadcast messages. In that respect, I'm a bit like my dad, right? I still believe that if you know me and you know what I do, and you have something around, you're doing something around what I do, I should be your first port of call, right? That doesn't necessarily happen. And I'm not saying that people don't have, you have a choice, right? You can pick whoever you want to work with. And you can pay money to whoever you want to pay money to do a service for you, right? And that's fine. But sometimes I wonder, right? And that's how my dad was. My dad was very, but they know me, they know this is what I do, why aren't they calling me? So I'm not aggressive at chasing people down because I want to do work with them. I've gotten a bit better in the last few years, but it's still not my default setting. So while I was tailoring, right, I'd had switched to ready to wear, and I will not lie, I do not like ready to wear. Why? I don't like it because I think it's very impersonal. When you do made to measure, you interact with the client more. I know I tailored for I don't know how many people, right, over those first 19, 20 years. And I got to know people. And I now strongly believe that the reason why I went into tailoring, or the reason why God gave me the gift of tailoring, was so that I could talk to people, right? And people could talk to me. And I'm really grateful for that. But at some point, and I had really good teachers for switching from bespoke to ready to wear. Wumi of DFL, this woman opened her books to me as far back as when she used to tailor out of her small office near the Unilag. And she showed me step by step. A few years later, I paid for Tomirotimi of Exclamations ready-to-wear course. It took me a year to complete that course. And I think the block was, or rather, I know that the block was in my mind, ready-to-wear is impersonal. I really don't want to do this. So, of course, I did the ready-to-wear. But most of the time, I would hear, oh, your piece is really lovely. Oh, then you make the pieces and then you will sell 5 out of 20. And I was like, what is going on here, right? Oh, if it had, and I'm like, but every time I wear the piece, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. By that time, I've either given it all out or I've sold it at a loss and I've moved on. So after doing this repeatedly quite a few times, I'm thinking, you know what, Ogbeni, yare any brain. So I eventually shut down the business. Why? It wasn't paying my bills anymore. I also wasn't ready to do the gymnastics that is happening in tailoring now. So, kudos to those who have made good of it, right? And kudos to those also who have managed to make a successful ready-to-wear business. We never thought it would happen, but one person who was very certain that this was going to happen was Wumi of DFL. And I'm so glad for her and how much her business has grown. So back to why I'm doing this. I know not all of us will, in Nigerian parlance, blow. But we need to get to a certain age and know that we can be comfortable with what we're earning. Global economy worldwide, global already says worldwide, you hear me? It's not working for anybody, right? But we should still be able to do, or let me personalize this. I should still be able to do the things that are important to me. Food is my greatest expense, right? But I also like light and water. If somebody gives me a bill of $1.5 million to do an inverter, excuse me, I was drinking Zobo and there's some bits and pieces in it. I should be able to go into my investments or savings without fear and pay that without thinking, oh my gosh, am I going to be able to buy food next month? Am I going to be able to pay the electricity bill next month? I should have disposable income, right? But I don't. I would love to. So this morning I also thought, really randomly, I thought it would be good to have an event to compare every Saturday of the month, or every Thursday of the month, or every Thursday and Saturday of the month. And I know that there are a lot of MCs and compares who turn down work because they have work on those days. And I also know that there are a lot of compares and MCs who do 2-3 jobs a day. So what am I saying? If you're younger now, if you're 15, 16, 17, 18, start to invest in money market funds. Buy stocks, buy shares, sacrifice, right? Do that minimum. Do the minimum that you can afford. And as you can afford it a bit more, when you start to work, increase those and let that money work for you. So invest it and forget about it. Don't spend it. You will need it when you get to your 40s and your 50s, for sure. If you can invest in real estate, invest in real estate. Buy a flat somewhere with somebody. If you can't do it by yourself, come together, buy a flat or a home and rent it out, right? And earn income from it. That's the cocoa of the oro. The second cocoa of the oro is, if you know that I'm Nigerian Palace, the right plug for that event that you want compared. If you know that I'm the right actor for that role that you want played. If you know that I'm the right voice for that brand, for that ad. If you know that I have the right figure for your brand if you're a fashion brand. Please send me a message. My numbers are on all my social media handles, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram. Currently, I am also on TikTok. Yeah, right. What can I tell you? Facebook, right? I don't have 1 million followers. I'm not sure if I'm ever going to get there, but hey, who knows, right? And there's no way that, let me not say that. I probably will have 1 million followers. When? I don't know. But hey, I was talking to somebody on Twitter. I was chatting with somebody on Twitter about, the movie industry, why it is that I can't get management now, that I have not blown. And the person's response to me was, study the industry, learn how it works, and then apply it. And I'm like, yeah, that the industry is the way it is. And this is not only, it's not only in the movie industry, right? You're looking for a job. You've just gotten out of university, and most of the job openings are, you need 10 years experience. How are you going to gain the 10 years experience if you haven't gotten a job? Why aren't we willing to take a chance on the people that have just started? My first acting gig was in 2021. They took a chance on somebody who hadn't acted in I don't know how long, because I used to do stage in the early 2000s, right? And the feedback was I did the role well. So why don't I have people beating down my door, right? It's not that there are no roles for people my age. There are. But I've also heard from directors that, we will choose the bankable actor. Well, you won't know whether I'm bankable until you work with me. That I do not have 1 million followers, and this is not any digs to those who have 1 million followers. I know people who have built their following through blood, sweat, and tears. But if you don't see me, how are you going to follow me? If you don't see the work that I do, and I'm grateful, in 2024, I didn't think that I did as much work as I thought I did, but I did. I worked every month. They didn't necessarily pay all my bills, no, but I worked every month. So this is January. Today's the 5th of January. It is the 5th, Abby? Yeah. 2 things again, let me reiterate that. 1, if you're 15, 16, 17, 18, you're already earning an income. Even if you're not earning an income, you're getting pocket money from your parents. Please look, instead of spending time scrolling down Instagram at other people's lives, right? Use that time to investigate, research. Which banks have money market funds? Which banks can I do investment? Non save. Don't go and put your money in the bank and save it. The bank is going to make more money than you, please. I think we all know that now. Invest it. Excuse me. Invest in money market funds, in shares, in stocks. There are quite a few people now on social media who talk about finances and how to invest. Just look for them, follow them, read their posts. And then don't only read their post and be looking at it. Please start it. You can start with as little as 5,000 naira. And if it's 5,000 naira that you can start with a month, start with 5,000 naira a month. And for the younger ones, please just forget that money for like 10 years. Little drops of water make the mighty ocean. There's also an adage that says when you wake up, that is when it's your morning, Abby. So this morning I've woken up again. And I can't promise that I'm going to post consistently because that is not my MO. The thing that I do consistently without fail is I post the word and I post my food. When I'm working, I do. When I'm given permission to post about the acting roles that I've done, I do that. So you will see posts from me 2 to 3 times a week. That is for sure. What else? So I'm the voice. I have the voice. Let me rephrase that. I have the voice. I have the acting skill, gift. And And what's the thing that I do? I also have the voice. So I have the voice for your adverts, for your brand, for your whatever, voice, your books, especially, particularly, I want to do bios and voice of God. And I also have the voice for your event. My name is Ayemi Olivia. You all have a great Sunday.